Thank you for staying tuned. It is still the conversation here on Lagos Television, and away from beauty products, we are going into a more serious discussion. LAWMA and the Clamour for a cleaner Lagos. Now, Lagos is one of Africa's fastest growing cities, generating thousands of tons of waste every single day. Joining us to discuss what the Lagos State government is doing to ensure that there is adequate or proper waste management system in place here in Lagos. We are joined by the MD CEO of LAWMA, Dr. Muyiwa Gbadegesin. You're welcome to the conversation.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So like I said in my intro earlier, Lagos is one of the fastest growing cities in the world. Lagos generates, or maybe you should tell us how much waste is the state generating on a daily basis?
About 13,000 to 15,000.
And then when you look at the quantity of waste generated, infrastructure-wise, how is the state doing to manage this waste?
As my friend rightly said just now, because she's fast becoming an expert in waste management, we generate 13 to 16,000 tons daily. As you know, population is quite high, 22 million. It's probably higher than that. It's been a while since we did a census, but our estimate is about 22 million. And it's a very challenging figure when you think about the logistics of managing that much waste that is generated every single day. No matter how hard you work today to collect waste, transport, and dispose, tomorrow you start all over again, the same cycle. So it is challenging. In order to move that much waste, we need in Lagos a minimum of 1,000 compactor trucks.
How many do we have now?
Right now, I can tell you that functioning trucks probably about 450 to 500. The state has about 102, not just compactors, but different types of equipment, including bin lifters. With the PSPs, we have maybe 350 to 400. And that fleet has dwindled over time because of the economic conditions, and also because a lot of us, residents of Lagos, are not paying for waste management. It's not a free service. Waste collection is not free. You're expected to pay the PSP operator so that they can fund their own activities, buy diesel, buy spare parts, buy tires, batteries. A tire now is about 250,000 naira, a new one. So you have to buy 10 tires for a truck. That's 2.5 million. And so it's challenging. That's the infrastructure that we have right now. We don't have enough disposal sites. Disposal sites are, expired. And we'll still talk about that. The challenge can only be met if we change our system of managing waste from a linear system to a circular system. And what do I mean by that? Instead of us accumulating commingled waste, all types of things, plastic, metal, glass, everything we just dump, throw away into the dump site, we need to start separating out the things that are useful in the waste. Most of what we throw away can be repurposed for other things. And if we do that, what we are going to do is we reduce the amount of waste that we need to carry with all these expensive trucks and go and bury somewhere. And then we take those fractions and we can turn that into wealth. That's what we call waste to wealth. Now, even the infrastructure for that sorting at source, we need to invest in that. And those are the things that that I would like to talk to our listeners about, so they can understand that there's a lot of opportunity for us, even in the midst of the challenges.
Okay, you've talked about these challenges now. It hasn't changed from what you said here about 5 months ago, in February. And Lagosians are saying, oh, we've heard all of this before. And now that you see that something is not working, why don't you just change your style of waste management? Recently, I've seen this trucks park on the bridge at Olusosun, and they say, oh, they can't get in. They're having issues in getting there, so it's taking more time to come back to pick up your waste. I'd like you to speak to that.
So I mentioned that the landfill sites are expired. And in any case, if you think about it, it's not it's not a good practice to have a landfill in the middle of the city. And so what the state government has done is that we've instituted a program for decommissioning the 2 major landfill sites within the city. And if you go to Olusosun now, you'll see that at the front of the site, we have a 5-hectare construction site where our partner Zoom Lion is building a transfer loading station. That transfer loading station will now serve as the disposal facility for the PSP trucks and also LAWMA trucks. You'll dump inside a control facility. It's about 20 times the size of our Simpson TLS on Lagos Island, which is the flagship facility for LAWMA. So once that is completed, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be able to stop the operation of that landfill. We cover it up, cap it, and we have ideas of putting solar farm on top of it to generate clean energy. Now, from the Olusosun site, and the similar transfer loading station will be built at Solus. That's our landfill that's beside Alimosho General Hospital. From those transfer loading stations, the waste will be taken to material recovery facilities. One is being constructed. They're yet to break ground, but they should break ground within the next 1 month at Agbowa. That will service Olusosun. The second one will be in Erekiti. That will service the Solus 3 site. So we are doing something different. Now those two sites, alone will treat 4,000 tons of waste. 4,000 tons of waste. Now, similar to that, just across the road in Ikosi, we have a pilot project that is extremely promising. And you must have seen some of the news releases. Most people say, you talk about biodigester.
Oh, yes,
and people will say, what is a biodigester? Yes. What does that mean? You know, 50% of our waste, that's 13 to 16,000 tons. So if it's 13,000, you're talking about 6,000 tons of organic waste every day. But 50% is organic waste. So when you talk about all this pineapple, if you go on Agege Motor Road now, you see mountains of plantain rotting. You talk about watermelon, all the produce that's coming out of our markets that spoils before they can sell it, and then even our food waste. We are started treating that. In Ikosi, it's mainly watermelon and pineapple, and they're producing gas to light up the market, to power the generator that lights up the market, and for cooking. And the state government is also, we have a 5-year plan for a biogas plant that will produce biomethane for the Lamata fleet. The new Lamata fleet is CNG powered. And also power the LAWMA and PSB fleets, which, you know, Nigeria is in an energy transition now from the national level. And Lagos is actually at the forefront of that energy transition. The Bile Oil and Gas, we partner with them. We've started converting our trucks to CNG. So this is also part of circular economy. So we are already doing it. But these are things that take time. The issue of waste in Lagos, there's no quick fixes. You know, the usual fire brigade approach. You know, I told you, I said 13,000 tons a week. You move it today, everybody says Lagos is clean today. Tomorrow you start all over again. And that's why we have to change that pattern. And we started doing it, but changing it is going to take time, investment. But most of all, we need the cooperation of Lagosians themselves.
That's where I want to come in now.
We
because
need the cooperation of Lagosians.
That's where I want to come in. Behavioral change, because you have spoken about the infrastructure challenge that you have, but again, you still find people dumping waste on the roadsides, on the medians. And what is the government doing to ensure, because again, while we began the show, I talked about a particular LCDA, Agboiketu. Yesterday they had a public hearing, you know, to amend the environmental laws, and they were stating that whoever doesn't have a waste bin in front of their house will be fined 50,000, or you go to jail for 6 months or something like that. And that's what that council is doing to bring sanity to their area. But looking at it overall, I see a people problem. You know, and Lagos is accommodating. You have a lot of people trooping into the state on a daily. And so how is the state coping to manage this situation?
Enforcement. We have the laws, and we, in a situation where you don't enforce the law, you know, the philosophy, if you remember your philosophy 101, life becomes nasty, brutish, and short. That's the Hobbesian conundrum. And where you have human, it's not unique to Nigerians. There's nowhere in the world where people will not try to litter or dump waste. So it's not just us. And mind you, it's not everyone. There's a subset of human beings who have some psychological imbalance because they don't feel ownership. They don't have a sense of responsibility for their environment. It's not everyone in Lagos who litters. A lot of people are very concerned about the situation with waste management. But what the government is doing is to do what government does best, which is to enforce the law. And if you notice along the Badagry Expressway, since last week Monday, we're on day 10 today, we started a massive enforcement exercise. That corridor has been the subject of so many complaints. We've gone there about 4 times in the lifetime of this administration. And this time around, we said, well, let us put a stop to the disorder in that corridor once and for all. We've done about, we started, I remember in 2019, we started from Orile. So all the way to mile 2 is relatively sanitized. So we now took it further and said, okay, the next stretch, we're going to clear the illegal occupants on the highway. There are about 10,000 people from Lasu Gate, Yanoba, all the way down to Okoko. 10,000 people, based on our census and our study, living on the road, doing everything. I won't mention, when I talk about everything, I mean from eating to the other end, on the road. One of them, so lawless, has even sunk a borehole in the median and was selling water to other people. So this is the kind of thing that we can't allow. So we started, and we're going to stay there until we've cleared everyone. And we're going to, you know, that corridor is a site of a lot of investment by the state government. The blue line, you can see we're going into the second phase. The expressway, and it's an international gateway. So that's just one example. And we're going to take that model to other corridors as well. We're working with the task force, with the Lagos Environmental Sanitation Corps, units of OP-MISA, that's a military unit, and of course LAWMA enforcement, and we've been working there. So similarly, the Lagos-Badagry Expressway, you were talking about how everybody wants to come to Lagos. It's because we're doing so well providing infrastructure. So once people see that, when they saw Lagos-Badagry, some people see it as their palace or their mansion because they sleep. If you go there at night, you see them sleeping on the road, constructing shanties on a brand new road. And so we started clearing that stretch as well. So what we've discovered is that you can't allow public space to, you just have to occupy it and keep applying pressure to prevent people from, those who don't have, most of them are homeless, and it's just not, it's not something that we'll allow. So we'll continue to do that enforcement.
So aside enforcing the law, are there other mediums through which the government is also making people see things in a different light? Because again, you arrest somebody today, after 6 months, you release him. He goes back and does the same thing again. And so aside enforcement, aside payment of fines or being imprisoned, what other measures are you taking? Well,
I mean, we have it's not always prison or payment of fines. Sometimes they do community service as well. But the enforcement is non-negotiable. When we talk about zero tolerance, it means that the laws of Lagos must be obeyed. And if you don't want to obey those laws, we'll make it so difficult for you. So you can go somewhere else where maybe it's less, you can do whatever you like. But in Lagos, we can't allow that. We're too heavily populated, and this is a center of excellence. So if you want to live in Lagos, you must obey laws. You must obey the waste management, that you have to have a bin. It's not a new law. I think what Agboiketu is doing is that they're increasing the fine to make it more expensive if you don't want to obey the law. You are expected to clean the frontage of your house, including the drainage, by law. And we have some environmental health officers, and Mr. Governor has approved for us to engage more. So we're in the process of engaging more so that we'll have at least one per ward working directly with LAWMA, going house to house. And the process of enforcement starts with education and advocacy. So if you remember in the old days, those who are old enough to remember, the wole woles who go from house to house, they teach people the importance of cleanliness, maintaining the environment, the health consequences. All the malaria that is one of the deadliest diseases can be eliminated if you keep your environment clean and you prevent standing water around you, whether it's in the gutter or maybe there's litter cans or bottles where the mosquitoes are breeding. So these are things that we just have to continue doing. We have to continue advocating. We have advocacy units, and so does the Ministry of Environment, who go out into the community. We meet with the markets. We meet with stakeholders, community development associations on a daily basis. It's a constant, and very soon we're starting partnership with the National Orientation Agency, because they're also present in every community, so that we can expand that advocacy and education. But that enforcement must be there. That's the missing link. Once people feel, you're familiar with the broken windows principle. If you go into a neighborhood and you see that everywhere is clean and neat, you're not likely to litter. Yeah. But if you go to somewhere that's already dirty, people just say, oh, anything goes here. Yeah. So we want, in Lagos, we must be clean. If Lagos is spotless, you will have less crime as well. So it's also a security issue. Criminals will go to where there's filth. So, and that's why we tell people that cleanliness is important, not just for aesthetics. It's also important for your health and your security.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yes.
Okay. While preparing for this show yesterday, I read it somewhere. I'm trying to look for it now. That where some waste managers said LAWMA seems to be overwhelmed, and that they should decentralize this. I'm sure you must have heard that they should decentralize this waste management to the local government, where each local government will be responsible, overseeing this PSP operators, because we have some areas where people pay and they still do not come to cut away the waste. So what's your opinion on that?
Well, it's like I said earlier, we are all LAWMA.
We are all LAWMA.
We are all LAWMA.
We are not all
we are all
regulators.
LAWMA. When you say LAWMA,
yeah.
The PSPs are present in every community, about 450 of them, roughly mapped to the 377 wards. And since last year, we've deepened the partnership with the local governments. So we have what we call a LAWMA local government integration department, where we have senior officers who work directly with the local government, the chairman and the exco of the local government, with the environmental health officers, with the CDA, CDCs, and the PSP operators. And the local governments on their own we asked them to establish waste management task force so that there can be a coordinated approach. And the local governments are now buying compactor trucks to serve as backup to the PSP and to LAWMA fleet.
Plus the one LAWMA has one.
Yes. So we're trying to work closely together. That's why I said we're all LAWMA. And you notice that we also started Mr. Governor personally last weekend was leading the cleanup exercise, the monthly environmental sanitation. You could see that everyone was involved. It was successful. I was there. The local government chairman and staff were there. The community also came out. And this is part of advocacy. The reason it was successful in the past was because it sent a message that residents of Lagos value clean environment. We all come out and they see all the leaders also cleaning. And people understood that it was important. So during the time it was lost, maybe that's why it contributed to a lot of decay, where a lot of people lost the habit of keeping the environment clean. And in terms of centralization, it's difficult to hand over waste management entirely to the local government because of the issue of disposal.
Disposal, okay.
Because you can't have disposal sites in every local government. So the system is working. It's just that it needs new investment and restructuring, and that's what we're doing. I mentioned earlier about circular economy. And one of the things that we've asked the local government chairman to do is to provide space for recyclable collection centers. And what we want to have is within each of those of our communities to have a place where people can take their recyclables to and get money in exchange for those recyclables. And we're even looking at whether we can have community recycling cooperatives managing those locations. So by the time you know, because we say it's money, if it's truly money, people want us to show me.
Yeah.
If you keep saying it's money, we started this already in Lagos Island. From our Simpson transfer loading station, every Thursday, we go out into the community with megaphone, ask people to bring out their plastics, their paper and cardboard, and we give them money on the spot. We weigh what they bring out, and we give them the market rates for that day, for whatever they brought out. It's a very popular program, and we're spreading that to our other facilities. Yesterday, I was at Oshodi transfer loading station, the one on the way to the airport, just to inspect and set up a similar collection center. And we want every local government to, even if it's just 1 or 2 plots, fence it round and let people come there and give them money, and then we'll take those recyclables and the off-takers. There are a lot of local companies that have established recycling plants, the Polysmart, the Alchem, the Sonex, that are ready to buy those materials. But they want clean items. They don't want the one that somebody has been, picking out of the dump site. So it is a real thing that is happening as we speak. We're just trying to structure it properly. And I mentioned about opportunity. On Tuesday, 2 days ago, we had marathon meetings. About 9 different groups came to us because we've been talking about it. And they came to us with ideas, young Nigerians who want to do various aspects of recycling, and it blew my mind because I saw 24-year-old, 28-year-old who just need the opportunity. Some of them just need a letter from LAWMA saying they can go ahead and do it. And we'll continue doing that. So our doors are open. Those who have ideas, who want to support the circular economy and who want to make money from waste, we want them to reach out to us. You can email at info@lawma.gov.ng. You can look at our social media handle at LAWMA_GOV, or you look at my social media handle, which is at Muyiwa, MUYIWAG, and just tag us, and we'll give you advice and support for you to be able to start your business. The opportunity is there, but like I said, we all must partake for us to be able to actualize it. It's not government alone or LAWMA alone that can do it, and that's why I said we are all LAWMA.
Together. Yeah. Okay,
No,
so
we're all
speaking
LAWMA.
about we all being LAWMA, we are in the raining season, and one of the things that contributes to flooding are blocked drainages. I mean, the rain that fell 2 weeks ago, Sunday, flood, it was everywhere. And so again, I want to know how LAWMA is also collaborating with other agencies, sister agencies, in managing and tackling the issue of flooding.
Also, the Minister of Works was around, about 3 days since Sunday, and he got complained that it was because of the project, the Lagos Calabar coastal road. It was because of that project we were having a lot of flooding in Lagos, and he redirected the blame to waste being dumped indiscriminately in Lagos, and of course some sand deposit in some areas. I'm not sure you heard it, but now that you're hearing it, how did you feel, that a minister from Abuja is still coming to put the blame on indiscriminate waste disposal? in Lagos?
Well, I think taking the first part of the question, the causes of flooding are multifactorial. It's not just one thing. First of all, we are a low-lying state, a coastal state.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate, as with many other aspects in Nigeria, God smiles on us. We don't have the kind of natural disasters that you see in other parts of the world. A lot of what we're experiencing are human-made, like we're doing it to ourselves. However, some of the flooding that you see is not properly called flooding, it's flash flooding.
Okay.
And we have to be, if we don't define the problem properly, we won't be able to find a solution. So we don't have flooding that stays somewhere for days and weeks, and so we have to understand what is happening. Now, Lagos State has an extensive system of canals, drainage channels, primary, secondary, tertiary, and the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources has been doing a lot over the last few years with ensuring that there's free flow of water in those drainage channels, including enforcement exercises for those who have built houses on drainage channels where they're not supposed to, which is one of the causes of flood. It's not just about waste. Yes, a lot of people, when they see flowing water, they think that they can dump their waste inside it because the water will carry it away.
Especially during rainy season.
So it's an issue of ignorance.
I don't understand that mentality.
And some just see a drainage and they think, oh, this is a dump site. They can get rid of their waste there. So that's a human behavior problem that we're solving by expanding our enforcement and also working with the local governments to also monitor what's happening and stop people from doing that. The issue of the Lagos, the coastal road causing flooding, you know that Lekki Peninsula was formerly a marshland, was swamp. When they started construction of that road, they discovered a lot of waste, areas that have been reclaimed by waste. And they took hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of truckloads because we worked with them on that. They had to excavate a lot of waste that people had used to reclaim land, which is a very terrible practice as well. They've constructed that road well. They have drainage channels. However, some of the communities around there have also blocked drainage channels. So that is one of the primary causes of flooding. There's shanties also who are dumping waste, and if they dump waste, that is going to block the drainage that has been constructed. So we have to be true to ourselves and go and trace the sources. If a drainage channel is blocked, and we've started doing that, we're going to trace it and find out who is blocking it and get rid of it. We're not going to take such a thing personally. We'll investigate, research, find out what is happening, and make sure it comes to an end. So I didn't feel, anyhow, it's not a personal thing. It's something that if there's a problem there, you need to go there and find out what the cause is and solve it. The minister has spoken, and we'll go and investigate and see what's going on there.
Okay, from what you've said now, you say that, LAWMA, I don't think you're sleeping. You've said a lot. You've got meetings back to back, and of course, you're working with the PSP, who everybody is shouting their names now. So how soon should we begin to see results of all the reforms you've talked about now?
Let me stress, the immediate problems of the last couple of months is because, like I said, the rainy season challenges, difficult access to the dump sites. That will, within the next 1 month or so, you'll see a much cleaner state because we've done some work on the landfills. By the end of the year, you should see significant improvement because by that time the transfer loading station should be completed. We'll be in dry season. We're expecting a lot of new trucks as well. We'll have more collection capacity, and I think by early next year, we shouldn't. And by the way, there are also a lot of circular economy activities happening, which I mentioned in partnership with the local government. Also, in some areas, we're introducing a new system of collecting waste, which is tricycle compactors. Tricycle compactors, yeah. We've already done that in Ibejuleki with the local government authority in Ibejuleki. It was very successful. The reason is that the tricycle compactors can access areas that the compactor can't access. So if the road is not good, they can still go in. And then if it's a very narrow area like Lagos Island has also started that system. And also the tricycle compactor is a pay-as-you-go model. So some people prefer pay-as-you-go instead of waiting to the end of the month. You know, so it's been successful. We're spreading that to a lot of other areas. So you'll see improved collection, improved service delivery.
Just before we go, somebody just sent a very interesting question. He said, PSP, and making LAWMA look bad. So would LAWMA consider publishing the performance records of PSP operators so residents know who is delivering and who isn't?
Yeah, we used to publish that. No, we'll consider publishing it again. They are, like I said, they are our franchise operators, so they're representing us. So when there are problems, we try to look for ways of solving those problems. They're not all struggling. A lot of them are doing good work. So the ones that are struggling, we do monthly performance reviews. And where they no longer have capacity, we change them. Where we're able to support them, we support them. And we have customer service lines. For those who may have issues, you can reach out to us on 070 80 60 10 20. I'll repeat that, 070 80 60 10 20 or 08 00 00 52962. And like I said earlier, you can also reach us by email, info@lawma.gov.ng. And I want to stress that we're always available to help you solve any problem you may have with waste management services. We don't want people to ever resort to dumping waste on the road or the median. We don't want waste on our roads in Lagos. I want to stress that. If you have any issue or delay, reach out to us directly, and we'll be able to help you solve that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muyiwa Gbadegesin, MD/CEO LAWMA. And we've been discussing LAWMA and the clamour for a cleaner Lagos. Waste management is shared responsibility between government and all of us residents. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this short break.